everybody, and welcome to Cooking It Real. My name is Kathy, and I'm so glad you are joining me in my kitchen today. I have two recipes for you today, two classic cookie recipes, and both of them are going to be using sourdough discard. One is a double chocolate cookie with cocoa powder and semi-sweet chips, and the other is a classic peanut butter cookie, except we're using sourdough discard. So grab your jar and let's get cooking. Okay, we're going to start with the double chocolate cookies. I busted out the big old KitchenAid for this, and I'm ready to go. The first thing we need to do is we need to take 1 stick or half a cup of room temperature butter and put it in our mixer. Then we're going to add brown sugar and white sugar. A half a cup of each. Get my measuring cups. Remember, when you use brown sugar, you want to make sure that it's packed into the cup. So you just press down on it till it's nice and flat like that. That's 1 cup. No, that's 1/2 a cup. It's 1 cup of sugar all told. Okay, put that there. We're going to need that for the next recipe too. And now just another half cup of granulated sugar. Thank you for coming off. Sometimes at this point when I have 2 sugars, I like to cut back just a couple tablespoons. It's not going to hurt anything. All right, now we're going to cream these together. And what that means is we're going to use our mixer to blend the butter, softened butter, and the sugar together until it's nice and smooth. We're going to start real slow. Once you get it going, you can turn up the speed a little bit, and that'll make it nice and creamy and fluffy. And I'll show you what that looks like in just a minute. All right, that ought to do. Now, if you didn't have a stand mixer like this, you could easily use a hand mixer, or like I learned when I first started learning how to cook, when I was about 10 or so, my mother taught me how to cream butter and sugar because we did not have an electric mixer of any kind. And you just do it with a fork, basically. And you just work it and work it and work it. All right, good, good, good. Okay, now it's time to add our sourdough discard. This has been sitting in my refrigerator for a couple of weeks. Sourdough discard is nothing but unfed starter. Now this still has a little bit of bubbles in it, okay? It's not like totally flat-ski, but it hasn't been fed in weeks, all right? Now you could also use active starter if that's what you have. There's my cat, hold on. Hello, Duchess. How was your nap? Oh, big stretch. It must have been good. Now my starter had a nice fat layer of hooch on it that I poured off before I realized I should have shown you. Hooch is just the clear grayish liquid that forms on the top of your starter when it sits in the fridge. All right, we need 1 cup of starter. So I'm just gonna let that pour out. See, this looks like pancake batter. Dang good pancake batter. Let's see, almost there. All right, 1 cup. I'm gonna put that in with the butter and sugar, and then we're gonna mix that all up until it's smooth and creamy. Everybody out. There we go. All right, that's looking nice and smooth. We're going to scrape down a little bit just to make sure that everything's incorporated. Sometimes down at the bottom or along the sides, you get little bits that don't quite mix in, and you just got to coax them. Also, sometimes things stick to the beaters a little bit. I don't worry too much about it. All right. I'll give that one more mix, and then we're gonna move on. Okay. Now we're gonna add one egg, one large egg, and as a rule of thumb, when most recipes call for an egg or 2 eggs or 20 eggs, however many eggs, they are talking about a large egg, not a medium, not a jumbo. They're talking about a plain old large egg. All right, so we added the egg. Now we're going to add how much vanilla? Let me look at my recipe here, my little cheat sheet. Oh, a teaspoon. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Where's my teaspoons? I didn't take them out yet. Okay. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. We're going to give that another mix. Boom. Now it's time to add the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients. Now, I don't think you're going to find a recipe anywhere that's written that doesn't say, in a separate bowl, mix all your dry ingredients, then add them to your wet ingredients. Well, because this is cooking it real, got to be real. I usually don't do that. I really usually don't. What I do instead, and please don't call the baking police on me. I'm not a professional baker and I don't have to follow the rules, but you can do it however you want to do it. What I do is I take the dry ingredients and things like salt. Now I need a half a teaspoon of salt. I just sprinkle that kind of all over like that. And I need a teaspoon of baking soda. So I go with the small amount of things first, the smaller amounts, so that they're sort of like underneath the big stuff. And I know they're coming in contact with the liquid. Okay, baking soda is in. And then I need a half a cup of cocoa powder. Now this is unsweetened cocoa powder, all right? It's not cocoa that you would make a drink with. This is the unsweetened stuff. And have you ever seen that video where the little boy, I don't know, he's probably 3 years old, he gets a big spoon, he smells it, cocoa, takes a big spoon and puts it in his mouth. It's hilarious. Oh my gosh, it's priceless. Okay, well anyway, half a cup of cocoa powder. And I'm just gonna shake this out. Half a cup, more or less, not too precise. It does smell like it would taste delicious right out of this can, but it's not sweet, folks. Little kids, it's not sweet. All right, so I'm just gonna sprinkle that in, a little bit on every side. All right, and now I need 1 cup of flour, and then we're gonna mix it all together. This is just regular all-purpose flour. All right, everybody, let's go. Good. Okay. Now, like I said, please don't call the baking police on me. We're just going to mix this until everything's incorporated, but we're not going to overmix. This isn't a cake batter. Now I'm watching this carefully. It's on the lowest speed. All right, I need to scrape. I see more liquid down at the bottom that needs to become incorporated. Okay, let's give it another mix. Okay, I think that's good. This is basically done except for adding the chocolate chips. Now, the recipe does suggest that you put this in the fridge for a couple hours before you bake, because as you can see, it's pretty it's a pretty soft dough. It's not like something that you could scoop out you know, with a cookie scoop or even a whatever. All right, hang on. We're not gonna mix in the chips. We're gonna fold in the chips. Oh, if that didn't have a raw egg in it, I'd be all over it. When I was a kid, my dad was a big baker. He grilled on the barbecue grill, but I don't think he made a meal in the kitchen his whole life. I could be wrong, but he did love to bake, and he loved to make fudge and other confections. And I remember some of my favorite parts of baking was when he would mix the butter and sugar together. Oh, if I could like snitch a little nugget of that, I was like happy. We're gonna take you off. Gonna put you off to the side. And we're gonna stir in our chocolate chips. I had a bag of chocolate chips that were already open, and I need 1 cup. And like, that's about a cup, don't you think? I think. Well, I can measure it. Let's see. Let's take this cocoa powder one and see. That's a 1/2 cup, more or less. And that's a 1/2 cup, more or less. So yeah, I was right. There we go. Okay, so let's mix these chips in. Can you see that? I don't know, but everything's looking good. I'm gonna put this in another bowl and cover it and put it in the fridge. And we're gonna get to making peanut butter cookies. Let's cover you up. Yeah. And we'll see you when it's time to bake. For the peanut butter cookies, we're going to start just the way we did with the double chocolate cookies by adding 1 stick of butter that is at room temperature to our mixing bowl. And if you want to make cookies or something ever and your butter isn't quite softened, or it's just come out of the refrigerator and you're kind of in a hurry, there's a couple things you can do. 1, take the hardened butter stick and just like give it a little bit of massaging in your hands. What you don't want to do is put it in the microwave. You don't want to melt it. Another thing you can do is to take like a measuring cup, not this one would be too small, a bigger one, or a bowl that's like a ceramic bowl or glass bowl that's at least the size of your butter, and put water in it. Either put boiling water in it or fill it with water, put it in your microwave until it boils. Then when it's boiling, you take it out, dump the water out, take your stick of butter, turn your bowl or whatever upside down over the butter, and just leave it there. And that will soften the butter faster, and it'll still have the texture that you want. Just a little tip. Okay, we got our butter. Now we need our sugar. And we're gonna do a 1/2 cup of regular granulated sugar. And this is my 1/4 cup measure, so 2 of those. Now take a little bit out, and a little bit more. All right, and then a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. We want it packed. 1/4 plus 1/4 is a 1/2. All right, so let's get our paddle on. You in? Yeah. And let's get that cream in. Starting off slow. Oh, I forgot one thing. Hold everything. We had the peanut butter at this time too. All right, let's see. Where's my spatula? Here it is. This is just regular peanut butter, grocery store peanut butter. It is a name brand, you know, the one that choosy mothers choose. And we need a 1/2 cup. You can use your favorite peanut butter. I have come to find out that I have some subscribers that live in the UK and also in Australia. So I'm not sure if the brand that choosy mothers choose is available where you are, but whatever your favorite commercial peanut butter is, or whatever nut butter you like. You don't have to make peanut butter cookies. You could make almond butter cookies or cashew butter cookies, or, you know, whatever kind you like. All right, let's get that mixed. All right, let's take a check and see if all the butter and sugar have been incorporated. Yeah, that looks good in the bowl, real good. Now we're going to add our 1 egg. We're going to mix that till it's well incorporated. All right, that's good. All right, now we need a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm going to need some more vanilla before baking season starts. Do y'all bake much in the summer? I guess it depends on how good your air conditioning is, or where you live in the world, or if you're in Australia, it's not even summer, it's winter. So let's see. Oh, and our starter. This is the same starter that I used for the chocolate cookies. 1/2 cup of starter. Let's see, 1/2 cup. All right, looking right at you. Oh, I suppose I could scrape it out, but I'm so close. I'm just going to go for it. Okay. Good enough. All right, buddy. Thank you for your service. Look, I am just about down to the bottom. I can see, like, can you see those bubbles? So cool. Anyway, all right, we add our sourdough starter and our vanilla, and that's going to be it for wet ingredients. Mix them all up until thoroughly combined. And you're probably wondering, is she gonna risk getting caught by the baking police and do that horrifying move of not combining her dry ingredients before adding them? Ooh, stay tuned and see. And while you're waiting to find out this mysterious news, if you're having a good time, if you're enjoying this channel, please give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. All right, I'm going to give that a scrape and see how everybody's looking. Down at the bottom, looking very good. Very good. Okay. It's time for the dry. Get you down there a little bit if I can. Well, I don't know if I can. I'm not going to worry. All right, so like I said before, I'm a rebel. I'm a rogue. I'm a Caleb Hawkins wannabe. All right, we're going to start with the small amounts first. Now, I need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. You say, why do you put salt in sweet things? Well, it just elevates the sweetness. That's some sort of magic. I don't know how it happens, but it does. I need a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Oop. That's good. And a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And baking soda is something that you do like you do brown sugar. You kind of scrape it up against the side of the package so it's packed nice and flat. All right, that's that. Now, let's see. The next thing is we need 1 1/2 cups flour. All right, my 1/2 cup has peanut butter gook in it, so we're not going to use that. Here's my 1 cup of flour. I'm just kind of spreading that out a little bit. You know, I could give this a quick mix. I'm gonna go like 50-50. I'm gonna mix this about 1/2 cup of flour with the baking powder, no, baking soda and salt. Yeah, and baking powder, and just get that going. Just a little bit. All right, now I'm gonna add the rest of that 1 cup. All right, and then let's see, where's my 1/4 cup? I'm gonna use my 1/4 cup again 2 times to make another 1/2 cup. And a 1, and a 2. All right, boom, boom, boom. Thank you. All right, let's turn this guy on and just get everything incorporated. All right, I'm gonna scrape. This is looking very good. Ooh, look at that, see? It's soft, but not as soft as the chocolate. All right, that's looking good. That's it. All right, so we're gonna get this guy into a bowl as well and put him in the fridge, and we'll see you when it's time to get baking. Hey everybody, guess what? It's the next day. Yeah, after the dough rested in the fridge for a little while, it started to feel kind of late. So I just decided to call it a night and pick up where we left off today. Let's start with the double chocolate cookies. I got my oven preheated to 350 degrees. I have a parchment lined half sheet pan, and I got my 1 tablespoon cookie scoop. Now, you can use a larger scoop, 2 tablespoon cookie scoop. This is going to make pretty small cookies, but that's kind of what my husband and I are into these days. And seeing as we're probably going to be eating the majority of these, we figured we'd better make them small, put some in the freezer, blah, blah, blah. We're going to take our scoop. Oh, this is like fudge. I'm just going to scoop these out. There we go. Yeah, this is still pretty cold, but that's good. That's what we want. Let's see, how many should I make? I hear they kind of spread a little bit. So I think I'm just going to put 9 on this cookie sheet for now. And they don't have to look perfect. I'm not going to be selling these, or I was going to say putting them online, but yeah, that's what I'm doing, huh? That's okay. Oh, this is kind of like a chocolate truffle right now. Oh, I'm loving it. Let's see. I'm going to do it more like this. Do, do, do. All right, get up. I'll fix you later. Not feeling very adept with this scoop today. Probably because this is still a little bit stiff. Probably the second tray will go a little bit smoother. There we go. Come on out, baby. Yeah. You can do this with just a regular spoon. And in fact, that might be what I do afterwards. We'll see. Oh, this does smell good though. All right, we'll call that it for now. I'm gonna take these big crummies away. Crummy crumbs. All right, and so they go in a 350-degree oven for 12 to 15 minutes. My oven is preheated, so I'm going to put them in right now. Okay, check these out. Don't they look beautiful? They smell like fresh baked brownies. I'm so psyched. These were about 13 minutes. Let me see. Flip one over. Oh, they're so soft. I'm going to put them on a rack and let them cool about as long as I can stand it before I try one. Ooh. But I'm not going to put any more in until I at least try one, for research purposes only, of course, so I know if I have the right amount. It looks like a darn good cookie, doesn't it? But the proof is always in the tasting. All right, let's have a look here. Let's see, I'm going to try this one because it's closest to me. Get a good picture of that. Look at the bottom. It's so soft and pillowy. Let's break it open, see what we got. Ooh, it is kind of like a brownie. I don't know if you can see me. Let's try to taste it. Oh my gosh. Melt in your mouth. Oh. Delicious. And the peanut butter dough has also spent the night in the fridge. And I think I'm going to use good old-fashioned spoon for that. This is not quite as hard as the chocolate. Now you can, if you want to get fancy, you could roll this into a real ball, like so. I'm going to put, I think I put 8 on that other one. So I think I'll do the same. This seems about the same size, although you don't have to be precise. You can make it a little bit bigger, make them even smaller. You can make wee little cookies. Just know that you should probably change the length of time you cook them between making them very, very small or very, very big. Just keep your eye on it. Now see, that one's kind of dinky compared to the other ones. But always on the first batch, you want to see how they spread. Now that's a little too small, Kathy. Come on. Get real. Put some cookie in it. There we go. I haven't made cookies, I don't think, since Christmas time. Not something we do a lot of around here. But every once in a while we get a hankering. And I did have all that sourdough discard. I got some other ideas for discard recipes too, but if you all have anything you want to me to take a look at trying when it comes to either sourdough or discard, put a note in the comments. So I read them all, and I will do my very best. Okay, now I'm gonna rinse my hands for a second. Now let's see if I can do this like you remember the cafeteria ladies doing it back in the day. You use the fork, dusted it with a little bit of flour. Oh, I'm having troubles. Making my crisscross. I don't like it. All right, let's try it one more time. You get off to the side, pal. Cooking it real, friends. That's what happens. That's better. Ooh. I mean, this just came out of the fridge, but it's already seeming pretty soft. You don't have to do this. You could do it one way and not the other way. You could just leave them plain. It's your kitchen, your rules. But this is kind of the traditional way. Oh, maybe I just need to get my rhythm going. Okay. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. Ooh, come on. Come on. There we go. One more. Can she do it? Oomph. Now, hope you guys can see this. Ah. All right, this also goes in a 350 oven for 12 to 15 minutes. So let's see how they turn out. Once again, I lost my audio. Oh, I hate when that happens. But look at this. They turned out great. The bottoms are nice and golden, and the cookies are still soft. They smell amazing. When I tasted them, they brought me right back to the school cafeteria of elementary school. Good stuff. They're two great tastes that taste great together. And as always, I'm glad you joined me in my kitchen, and I hope to see you next time. And I also hope you have the wonderful rest of your day. See you next time, friends.